It's good to be with you on this Monday. As many of you have probably heard, our church has been through quite a trauma over this last week, and yet we have sensed the presence of the Lord. He has been with us each step of the way. We're so thankful for the Reamers family, which has looked to the Lord and frankly been a great encouragement to us. And I would appreciate your prayer for the service on Friday night at 6 o'clock for Ben Reamers, that God would be exalted. Many unsaved people will be there. It's something that our community is very aware of. And then for all of us, there's much that we need to gain from what you are doing, what God is doing, in our midst. And so we are just so thankful for the Lord's hand and His gracious just blessing upon us through these very difficult times. I'd like to give a verse that I think is so important in every crisis that we face, and that's 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is brought unto you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. I think most of us understand from that era, girding up the loins for a man would be take his long robe and tie it up around him so that his legs would be free to be able to run and to accomplish what he needed to accomplish. And so I believe we have the idea here of our thinking process by the power of God needs to be girded up. It needs to be brought under control. We're to be sober, to be thinking correctly, and hope, have a confident expectation to what God is doing to the end for the grace that is to be brought when Jesus Christ comes back again, and with the grace that we have right now. And one of the things that we need to realize that when we don't think right, we can't operate. We get all tangled up in our wrong thinking rather than being free to have the power of God move us forward and to just be the servants of His that we ought to be, to bear the message, to work the work that He has for us. I'm telling you, when we get caught up in fear, we get caught up in frustration or anger, we get confused, we let unbelief, doubt comes into our minds. That's like flowing robes that are just making it difficult for us to move. And so we have to make the decision to put on the mind of Christ. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, Philippians 2, verse 6. And it's very important that we have that kind of a thinking process, that servant's heart, sacrificial spirit, full trust in the Father that Jesus Christ had in His Father. And so today, as we inevitably will hear more things about what's going on and could easily get frustrated, you may have circumstances that come, gird up the loins of your mind. Get them under control, not by your own self-will, but by trusting God, biblically think through what you are struggling with, and God will enable you to be free to move forward for Him. May God just encourage us to live that way.